Hey Ratbags, a little mini guide today to Casterfell Woods. 5 places I think you should check out, and I guess a bit of an overview. I'm not going to explore everything in this zone. Some of these places are kind of easy to miss, or some that you might need a key to get to certain places. That will definitely give you high rewards. And I'm talking a lot of stimulants. I'm going to get you so many that you'll be able to upgrade a bunch of stuff, plus lots of ammo, maybe some decent weapons, and a whole lot of resources as well. So if you find this useful, leave a like, check out the rest of my ATOMFALL guides, and let's go. So these aren't in any strict order, just bear in mind where to go once I've called them out. But you definitely want to head over to the northeast part of the map, right in the corner. There's a whole plethora of stuff here that's going to benefit you. Roughly 9026 on the coordinates if you want to follow that way. Otherwise you'll be heading for the greenhouses, a cellar filled with secrets and Mother Jago, plus a bunker where you can actually start storing more of your gear. Directly at the back of the greenhouses you'll notice this field, and I've included this in a bunch of other guides because it's the first time you'll probably get hold of a decent gun. It is the SMG, the bulpup. You can see the purple mounds there. If you actually shoot them and destroy them very quickly, you will be able to go ahead and only have one maybe wasp attack you, or just run away from them. If you do get too close, the swarm does attack you, or if you only hit them with one bullet that doesn't actually break it, that upsets them as well. There will be a couple druids to take care of as well, and there is a little cut that leads to the coast on the right hand side of these druids that you're looking at right now. That will give you a little tiny bit of loot, but not much more. You can also see the bunker directly in front of you too, pretty much marked on the map, and some of the early clues in the game do direct you to this, so hopefully you haven't missed it. We'll talk about that in a second though, but yeah, go ahead and loot the druids. A bow is OP. I highly recommend you start switching to it and using it a lot, especially for obviously human enemies. One headshot will take down nearly every single one. So go ahead and take care of all of the wasp pods, and then on the body will always be a bullpup rifle and some ammo. Not much, but it's a start. And that little cut I was talking about, as you can see, it leads to a little tent, and if you've got the metal detector, it should unearth a lunchbox. Okay, so the bunker, actually climb up onto here and work your way up. You should then notice a bunker entrance on the very top field. Inside you'll find one of the main NPC leads that eventually might help you escape depending on your actions. There's a good amount of little loot in here as well. You should find a recipe for one of the bombs. It'll be pinned to the wall somewhere, and there will be a bard crate, maybe giving you some of your early stimulants. So once you've looted this place and you've taken advantage of the pneumatic tubes, go ahead and store any of the gear that you don't necessarily need right now. You can leave. But make sure you go out the door behind Joyce Tanner. It will lead to this ledge overlooking where you just shot them druids, and you can climb and jump down here once you picked up some ammo. But do go around to the left and there'll be another bar box, giving you another stimulant already. Okay, now you've done that, you can go and explore the garden centre. Effectively, there's a cellar around the back of the big house that has got lots of secrets in, and you can actually climb into this doorway of the house to go and get a key for one of the greenhouses that you can't access. But maybe head to the cellar first. You'll find a sticky bomb recipe, a bunch of other resources, and maybe some ammo on the shelves, and then crawl through to the next area. And in here you get more story about some sort of infiltrators, but you'll also get another bar box. Don't forget to go in the house as well. Like I said, you should be able to go up to it and climb up. There will be some rats in here, and you have to basically look for the key. It will be in the area with the slight kitchen cabinets there on the wall. You can grab it and then make your escape. Inside this greenhouse you'll find more ammo and a few other supplies, as well as another note talking about the infiltrators. Do be warned though, some of the patrols do come down here, so although it might seem a bit light on enemies, and I'm playing all of this on the regular survivor mode, you will have to deal with them if they do come across or hide. And then you can go and find Mother Jago if you somehow haven't got to her yet. She'll be in the ruined little building at 9226. So one small area, but a ton of stimulants, lots of ammo, probably got a bow by now, and a decent rifle. Plus you've met 2 NPCs that can help you all throughout the game. Next is one that's going to have a payoff later, but you still need to go to this location first to pick up a key. It will give you access to a hut in the castle grounds that's got more stimulants and a ton of ammo. If you spoke to Mother Jago, she pretty much directs you to the southwest of the map, and you can actually take the big massive long road all the way pretty much down at the top corner of 2384. When you get down, do be careful though. Again, they can be a patrol, and you are going to have to deal with your first maybe spore cloud, as well as one of the Triffid style plants. They do fire at you, and if they hit you, they can give you the spore poison, which does quite a bit of damage. If you're using your bow and arrow, it's going to take quite a few shots. I do recommend you use a grenade or some sort of Molotov if you've picked one up, but make sure you get close enough to throw it. Often also it seems like the cloud around it might actually stop some grenades from getting through. So persevere with some of your weapons that you got. Otherwise you could just do a run behind it, because there is a small little cave with a body in it that you need to go and get a key. The actual smog or spores will do a lot of damage unless you've been able to find the antidote, which you can pick up from Mother Jago by following some of her quests. But you do need a lot of the spores to go ahead and make the antidote, and at this stage you probably haven't found the manual that gives you the way to go ahead and collect them. So look out for the exploding spore plants as well, and then go and obviously loot the body like I said, and you should find the castle grounds hut key. And if you've got no clue what I'm talking about in terms of the recipe to make the antidote, then I'm going to show you at the end, as it's kind of part of one of the locations. Again, repeat, don't necessarily do this in the same order, just showing you some of the places. An important one is to find the interchange exit or entrance. It should be in the southeast corner of the map around 8327, here by the question mark in a circle. Literally right next door to it, a bit further, is the entrance to Windham as well, but this one definitely go and open earlier. This helps you in the long run. Although you may have come across an entrance into interchange, by opening up all the ways that you can only open via the outside routes, it makes your life easier, because you can use this to get back and forth between all the maps a lot quicker. There will be a couple of outlaws that you have to deal with, but you can creep up behind the first one at least, and then hopefully not get shot in the face. So I'll leave it to you how you take them on, and obviously go and loot any of the small loot that's there, as well as the little side room. In fact, don't miss the side room, because there should be some stimulants sitting there on the shelves. And just like some of the other big doorways, you need to go and activate the button with the keycard that you've been given with at the very start of the game, and it should open up the large door. This is technically the entrance to Data Store A. But it's also probably one of the toughest ones to go and fully explore once you brought a battery with you. And I do recommend that you do have a battery on you. If you manage to find the other entrance in Slattendale, or somehow you got to Skeffmore or Windham and managed to get into the interchange, you probably found the battery that activates the first console in the core processor area. But for the rest of the doors, like I said, you need to open them via the outside direction. But yeah, make your way through. You might have to deal with some killer rats along the way, and you won't be able to access the bottom half of this section A until you've got a battery and maybe an antidote, the strange tonic, to get through the spore area. So yeah, I could have left this one towards the end once I show you how to get hold of the tonic, but that's the beauty of ATOMFALL. You can play this game in so many different ways. Some people might have not bothered with Slattendale, they might have gone straight to Windham, you might have gone straight and explored all of Casterfell Woods as much as you can, but now you're looking for anything that you might have missed. So yeah, this might be your first time in the interchange. At least now you know how it works. There's one entrance in each of the zones that pretty much lead to this area. And don't forget the stimulants on top of the computer console here. There's also another pneumatic tube that you can use to go ahead and swap any gear in and out. Now, if you did manage to bring a battery with you, and you've already been to this central processor area because you found it via Slattendale, that should mean that Data Store Charlie and Delta are both open. This corridor leads to both, and again, you can only open it from the outside in. I actually do recommend, if you've got a battery on you, don't go ahead and try and activate the power that you need in the alpha area. Instead, go over to D. Inside it's relatively easy at the moment. There's no enemies. There's a lot of doors that are not powered, of course, but like I said, put the battery inside and then all these shutters will open, and you should be able to then go ahead and access a special storeroom that gives you the crafting manual. But you do need another keycard, and to access that keycard you need to jump across here, jump across this one, basically keep climbing across these consoles and avoid the water. They'll have leeches in the first time you come here without power, and then when you do get power turned on, it actually becomes electrified. But hopefully you can jump up on top of this gantry and you'll find a dead body with the keycard that will now open up the storage room as long as you've powered up Delta. Just keep running along the gantry and you can open up this door from the other side now. And then literally just here you can see you can open up the storage room and get the manual, as well as some more stimulants. So there you go, it's definitely worth doing. You could argue this should have been maybe explained in a Slattendale guide. However, in Slattendale there's only one opportunity to get a battery, and that's only if you go ahead and trade it or kill the trader Molly. At least without much difficulty or exploring some of the tougher laboratories and bunkers in that place, which there aren't that many, but still, you don't really have that many batteries from Slattendale. You get about 3 or 4 from the Casterfell Woods. And as I said, it's beneficial to open up both of the entranceways, or all of them, as soon as you can. You can of course keep exploring all the way at the bottom of Delta now as well, take care of maybe the barred robot, but I would suggest that this isn't worth doing until maybe you pick up the signal disruptor, because when you go into the robotics section there'll be another area that you need to access and you will need that device to get through. You can go and loot some stuff in there, but like I said, you will have to take care of this barred robot. Of course, if you do make it malfunction by shooting it enough in its dome, you can actually get the battery from it if you're quick enough and pull it from its back. Otherwise, yeah, make sure you wait until you get the redirector before exploring robotics if you want to save yourself a bit of time. And since I've spent a lot of time explaining all this, I might as well say to you, the Slattendale entrance is just above the first outlaw encampment, with the buses as the entrance and exit point. You can creep past or head to the ruins, and there should be a ladder or a pathway that takes you up. So it's not really marked on the map, but you'll find it as a path on the cliffs just overlooking. Alright, back to Casterfell Woods map now. Of course, head to the dam. You can see it on the map, it's literally in the top northwest section. Literally, you don't have to have a marking or anything because you can see it. I thought this was going to be a really tough area to go and explore, but there's only actually a couple of the druids. Maybe you'll get like an outlaw or a druid patrol that comes eventually, but otherwise it's only maybe a triffid that you can still stay well clear of. Take your time, go and loot everything, look for everything in the outbuildings, but pay particular attention to the dam storeroom key you'll find upstairs in one of the buildings just here. But we're here specifically to go ahead and get a battery, as well as something that will help you later on. So cut across the dam, avoid the triffid, that is a thumper that basically hits any enemies that come close enough to it, thankfully not a shooter one, and then go up to the main actual building close to where the water is. You'll see this switch that activates 3 of the transformers, turning off the electricity in each one each time you flip it. In the one that's red right now, the top one, that is where you're going to find a battery, which actually is the furthest one away from you from where you've just actually flipped the switch, right next to this out here building. You've got some loot and of course a battery next to the skeleton. Go ahead and explore the rest of the transformers by switching the electricity off if you want, but again, watch out for that triffid. Head back to the building with the switch, and actually just on the other side of it in the corner you'll find a body. I'm not going to include what this unlocks later, but it's pretty vital for getting inside the manor that you find in Casterfell Woods, and that will help you get another manual. I think it's the stealth one again, the second one. But definitely worth knowing about now so you don't have to backtrack, unless you've got no problem murdering old ladies. FYI, the manor house is near where you first found the key to the Casterfell hut, which I found and showed you in the cave by the triffids. And then the last thing to note in this place is to head to the storage room, again, which is pretty much opposite the big main control building. With the key that you found in one of the other outbuildings upstairs, you should now be able to access it and get some more stimulants in the bar box and a few other small resources. And head directly south out of Casterfell Woods, following the steps down, and you should come across the trader. This is Billy. Here he is on the map, 8921. Billy has another battery as well as a consumables manual, which gives you lots more buffs with anything that you eat. And then the 5th location is a bit more challenging, there's no doubt about it, but it depends on what route you come. You go to the castle ruins. There's 2 entrances. You can actually go through the ruins in the bottom, which is a cave network, dungeons, and it's a good way to go and get a battery early on that you can get from killing a priestess. Following it all the way through, take care of some of the bandits and stuff, eventually will lead you to the castle itself, and then you can explore the castle. Otherwise, you can have like a full frontal assault, which I'm kind of doing here, but it does require you running past a lot of triffids and trying to take care of them, as well as maybe a lot of druids. Now, if you helped Mother Jago, and it's again one of the earliest things you get directed to in the games, that's why I've not really included it, at the speaking cave you can offer a special offering from her once you helped her out the first time, and then this is meant to make the druids not hurt you as long as you don't hurt them. but I do believe the castle grounds are still a trespassing spot, so they'll still attack you anyway. I can't really confirm that because I had a bug where the druids did actually start harming me, but they're not meant to as long as you don't hurt them and you've made the offering at the speaking cave. Let me know if it's different. Maybe you can walk around here without these guys attacking you. And again, you can't really miss the castle. It's directly in the southeast when you're looking at the map. And what we're after is a small hut to the side, left-hand side of the castle. And now you can open it up using the key that we got from taking on that Triffid and that body in the cave earlier, and get yourself some more stimulants and a ton of ammo. Literally bunches of rifle, pistol and shotgun ammo all on these shelves. Don't also miss out on the right-hand side for another manual. This is how you can pick up an archery one, which honestly makes the bow even better as one of the best weapons. With all the stimulants that you've now managed to get, and this is why I left it last, definitely go ahead and get the skill that slows down time when you aim at an enemy fully. Explore the castle, go and loot everything you can. As I said, you should find a way down into the lower sort of dungeons or ruins area, so you can go and pick up obviously another battery from the priestess as I mentioned, and a bunch more loot. But what we're after here inside one of the kitchen side areas is a key that will unlock a secret entrance inside the fireplace. This will just open up a quicker, easier entrance to where you're going to find Mother Jago's recipe book and the antidote recipe, so that you can now go ahead and make some of the antidotes to help with the spores. It's just to the right hand side as you go through. Again, there will be maybe a couple of enemies here. And as I said, if you go the other entrance, which is at the bottom of the castle and the other ruins, it basically leads up to this point as well. But yeah, search in this zone and you can pick up the book, then return it to Mother Jago. So this is actually the mission that she sends you on first, before she'll then ask you to take an offering to the speaking cave. And there we go, that's pretty much it. There are other places, like I could have shown the speaking cave, but like I said, it's still relatively easy to follow. Again, now you've done this mission, go and talk to Mother Jago. You don't have to explore all of these places in one go. I didn't. I did go and explore the lower half dungeon. I got her book and the recipe, returned to Mother Jago, and then I left the top part of this castle for like another 10 hours. So you could absolutely try and see if you can have the druids be friendly with you by going and doing the offering, and then come and explore the castle a bit more freely if it works. And there's lots of other places to go to, but they definitely require a lot more input. Like there's certain places or dungeons, basically some of the bunkers, you won't be able to access, or there's no point in accessing until you get the signal redirector or some special keys from some of the other NPCs. So I'll be doing a full guide on them as well, so don't panic if you're still struggling. Yeah, look out for that in the future. And I'm going to try and do this for the rest of the zones as well, including Wyndham and Skeffmore of course, and showing you fully how to get all of the interchange opened and how to complete the game too. So until next time, Ratbags, I'll see you for more ATOMFALL soon. Bye bye.